Hello, everybody. I wanted to come on to YouTube today and talk about a topic that I found interesting. So, I was, I was reading on some websites like Reddit about the new Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree DLC trailer, and also the interview that was done with Miyazaki, and how he talked about how it's going to have a Sekiro based leveling system. Now, the reason this interested me was because Sekiro is my one of my all time favorite, if not my all time favorite game of all time. It's definitely not the best game I've ever played, but just because it was my first Souls game and the pure nostalgia from it really, uh, you know, it's the reason why it's my all-time favorite. I've 100% completed the entire game. I have my Xbox background homepage picture as the 100% completion. Uh, achievement. On Xbox, there's like the pictures, the background pictures you can get for getting achievements on a game. And I was just interested because uh, over on the PC Gamer website, they were talking about how the leveling system in this game is going to be borrowed from that of Sekiro's, where you can't really just, steamroll through the entire game like you can with Souls games, like all the Dark Souls games, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, where, just grind out a bunch of runes and then win the game. I mean, level everything. There's so many glitches on that game that gets you, like the dragon and the Kaled that you can just kill for like 300k. I mean, 300k is like more than half of what you get from the final boss, and it's it's just like it's interesting how they're going to implement the leveling system from Sekiro, which is that like you don't have levels. I mean, you do, but like it's different because when you defeat a boss in Sekiro, you get its memory, and that lets you upgrade your attack power. Mini bosses give you the prayer beads, and you need four of those to upgrade your vitality. And that's basically all you have. You can't upgrade stamina. Stamina actually doesn't exist in Sekiro. There's no such thing as equip load because there's no armor sets or uh, weapons that you can. It's a set character basically. You can get skins from completing gauntlets, but that's really all there is to it. So I'm going to show you a little portion of the article I was reading from the PC Gamer website on the Shadow of the Erd Tree trailer. So basically, on the website, it talks about how max level Elden Ring characters won't be able to breeze through Shadow of the Erd Tree when it arrives in June, because when there's gonna be people playing the DLC when they're gonna cop it, and then they're gonna be max level, and they're like, I got my character ready. He's got 99 levels on everything. So basically, they're trying to prevent the DLC from just, being a breeze, like they say here. Because, it's not really going to be a very, thorough experience when when you just, you have all the levels and you're just breezing through, killing every boss to hit. So they're making it higher level. They're making it more difficult. So it's going to use, and they're doing this by using a separate leveling system borrowed from Sekiro, which I found really interesting because, like I said, Sekiro is my all-time favorite game. Uh, I think it's a phenomenal game, and I think the leveling system in the game was very, very interesting, and how it was a little bit different than that of the Souls games. So in an interview with Famitsu, translated by Reddit user The Angry Furlong, That's a very interesting username. But Miyazaki said, in addition to the normal rune-based leveling system, you'll also have a Sekiro-like attack power stat. So my theory is that if you're just normal rune-based leveling, right, as stated in this passage, it's not gonna do you much good. You're gonna have to use this new attack power stat, unique to the DLC areas. Presumably, raising it will make you do more damage on top of the stats you already have. So, on top means that it's going to stack, and probably if you don't stack it, it's not going to work out for you. You're not going to be doing enough damage. So, this is a good way to balance out. Then, this is why Sekiro is really good, because everything is balanced out, and there's no saying that you're under leveled for a boss. There's no saying that you're over leveled for a boss, because it's got this unique uh, attack power stat with like prayer beads to upgrade your vitality. So you have to kill mini bosses and main bosses to actually upgrade your stats. Therefore, you're gonna have to kill a DLC boss and then use its memory to convert it into attack power to have enough attack power for the next boss, as opposed to just grinding out runes and then having enough stats to just fucking steamroll through the entire game. It's just logical. Why wouldn't they do that, right? And then it says Miyazaki said the system was added to replicate the freedom you had in the base game to explore and level up before tackling the bosses, and specifically says it'll allow you to do more easily experience this even in the high level range. So it's going to be a better experience. It's going to be more challenging considering most likely. I mean, this is just a theory because we don't know a lot about the um, DLC yet. We've only seen the trailer, but it's most likely going to be a better experience, and then the bosses are going to be more difficult, considering, all the Souls games DLCs have had harder bosses. For example, Dark Souls 2's hardest boss is the Fume Knight, which is in the DLC. So, basically, what I'm trying to say is that it's going to be a better experience with more challenge, and it's going to be more balanced because, and a big problem with a lot of Souls games, and all of them actually, including Souls likes, is that if you just wander off too far, you're not going to you're not going to be in an area that's friendly for you. There's going to be enemies that two-shot you, and if you try to fight a boss, say you have a lot of runes and you're like, this boss is going to be easy, and this boss is just impossible. Or it could be the other way around, and you are over leveled, and you go over to an area where you're over leveled for, and then you fight a boss and you two-shot it, and it's just the other way around. Both of those experiences are not very intriguing. I mean, you're just basically just uh, it's not fun either way because you're either just getting your shit rocked or you're going crazy and killing everyone. And it may sound fun on the outer end of things, but really, you're not going to get that kind of satisfaction you get from killing like a boss. For example, Moog Lord of Blood was a boss that took me a long time to beat, and I knew I was not under leveled for it because I did decent damage. Uh, he did decent damage to me. I think he three-shotted me. That's usually normally how uh, a balanced boss would do. Bosses are very difficult in these games, so yeah, they're gonna three-shot you, and it's balanced. And after I finally beat him, after so many tries, throwing my controller across the room multiple times, I felt immense satisfaction. But then, say, when I missed a boss in Limgrave, when I had already been to the point where I was at, like, Caelid, and I just two-shot the boss, it's like, I mean, you really just, it's not that fun. And then, actually, when I was still in Limgrave and I went to Caelid and I tried fighting, say, for example, I fought the Godskin Apostle under leveled, and that thing was really frustrating because I was under leveled for it and I just couldn't beat it. So it's good to have that balance, which Sekiro has, no matter what, and that's why it's a very phenomenal game. So it's very nice that they're adding this attack power stat unique to the DLC areas, which is interesting that it's unique to the DLC because it's just a very it's just a better way overall to balance out the game, which balance is a big problem for these games because you could either, like I said, over leveled or under leveled. You want to be balanced, and this is the best way to do that. So yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much the all I wanted to say today. I just wanted to, address that, and thought it would be interesting to talk about. Let me know if I should keep doing this. It was just a little idea I had, and I was just kind of like, Sekiro is my favorite game ever, and the fact that Elden Ring is going to be taking notes from that game, which was just a phenomenal game, and Elden Ring is a phenomenal game too. I haven't beat it yet, but I do know about all the bosses, and I have explored the majority of the areas. Actually, yeah, I've explored every area in the game. But yeah, so that's really all I wanted to say. Let me know if I should keep doing this. But yeah, that's all. That's all I've really got to say. So yeah.